The video game industry earns something like $350 billion globally every single year. To put that in perspective, that is 10 times bigger than the movie industry. So we're not amused at all watching the wokesters attempt to destroy all of gaming harder than a Venezuelan election. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we bring sanity and clarity to the entertainment industry. And in doing so, we keep you ahead of the culture curve. Today, we're talking gaming. It's the first time in a while, but you are not going to want to touch the dial as we dive in. Simply click that like button. And if you want to offer even more support, click on the link to Vacation Radio in the video description down below. Here we go. This is out of IGN. It's been there for a while, but we've been tracking it. Star Wars Outlaws, 10 minutes of exclusive gameplay. It's an IGN first. And it's also an IGN first, probably, maybe, although I doubt it, considering it's IGN. 95,000 dislikes on this exclusive gameplay, approaching 10 times and approaching 100,000 dislikes, 10 times more than the 12,000. You get the idea. It's getting close to it. Now, this has been out for 2 weeks. Less than 1 million views, which would pretend that there is not much interest in this game. However, there is plenty of interest in the controversy that surrounds it, because we are being told all across the globe to ignore your lying eyes and ears. What are we talking about? We'll take a look at this. This is out of X. It's by Script Trooper. He says, "I'll take Doom or Wolfenstein originals over Star Wars Outlaws." And we are assuming he's probably mocking the artificial intelligence that runs these enemy AIs. These NPCs have no idea what's going on. They look like they're blind, deaf, and dumb, and they're certainly dumb. Take a look at this, and let's hope that we aren't copyright struckified for it. I don't think we will be. I think they'll allow us to play it. This is fair use, folks, as we attempt to show you the news. This is why people feel abused by the idea of having to pay money for Star Wars Outlaws. Here we go.
As such, the blaster battles felt like they had meaningful stakes, and the stealth gameplay had a bit of weight to it because I knew that I'd be up against it.
Now, if you watched that and I watched that, I don't see any way that you could come away feeling like this is a good product. It's definitely not the sort of thing you would want to showcase. And oftentimes, these sorts of gameplay adventures are highly scripted, highly prepared, polished, and ready to make you feel like you just have to buy the product, even though it probably won't be so when you get a hold of it. And yet, despite much of that gameplay looking just like that, we are told by the ever-present Paul Tassi. In every industry, Paul Tassi is there to defend that which is not impressive at all. Paul Tassi over on Forbes says, Star Wars Outlaws hands-on previews are in and actually quite good.
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what? Let's go!
Jabba, right?
Oh no!
Sarlacc!
So, again, folks, this is the game that's played over and over regarding these games. And this is significant because, well, they want to destroy movies. And by golly, they did a great job on some of these franchises of absolutely devastating them. It seems like Hollywood is starting to make a change. But entertainment in terms of gaming, which is 10 times as big and thus 10 times as impactful and thus economically 10 times as important, well, they're going after it and they're going to try to destroy it. And they're going to tell you right along the way that you are an idiot, you are a moron for not seeing what they apparently can see, but you cannot. It's very strange. There has been a bit of skepticism about Ubisoft's story-driven open-world Star Wars game. Well, that's one way to put a 10 times ratio of negative to positive on 10 minutes of gameplay. That's one way to put it. Skepticism. Since it was announced. But after a play for 4 hours preview that encompassed a huge number of journalists and content creators to play, generally speaking, the reactions are pretty positive. There is some amount of negativity, albeit mostly from players who have simply watched footage rather than played. Because, folks, you aren't smart enough. You aren't wise enough to be able to watch gameplay of a game and make a determination for yourself.
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
Guys, this is one of, if not my most anticipated game of the year. Anything that's got me going pew, 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 you know, sign me up.
I gotta say, the concept of this is enough for me to go, I might even pre-order this.
You need a controller in your hands to really feel the horrible animations and the bad response. You need the controller in your hands before you can possibly determine if a game is good. It's the same argument, by the way, that was told to you over and over again about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Why? You haven't been on the ride. You can't make a judgment. You haven't been on the ride. Ignore the ride-through video where you can see everything that's going on. That doesn't help you at all. Then what was the point in putting it out? What was the point in putting out the 10 minutes of gameplay, if not to convince people to like the game? Like, you can't have it both ways. If putting out that sort of gameplay does nothing for you being able to make a judgment about whether to buy the product, then why are they putting it out? And oh, by the way, they've been doing this since the invention of the internet. Anyway, we get some statements from Washington Post, which, you know, Jeff Bezos. You get Games Radar, you get VGC, you get IGN, PC Gamer. All of these are tightly connected to the gaming industry. So you decide if you want to believe what they have to say. You can see their positive things that they say here. And then you've got individual content creators, none of whom I know, but you've got these things. I love some of these. It says, take a look here. It says, I got invited to preview Star Wars Outlaws for 4 hours. They asked nothing of me, so I can honestly say it was quite good. I was surprised to see people mindlessly hating on it without playing it. It may not revolutionize gaming, but I'd be shocked if Star Wars fans don't like it. Be shocked if Star Wars fans don't like it. What about the rest of the people? Because there aren't that many Star Wars fans anymore. So just like the 95% of folks out there who are no longer Star Wars fans, are they going to like it? Well, I don't know. One trend, Paul Tassi says, I have seen is a lot of pushback from fans who simply don't believe this is good based on footage shown. You know, this is kind of like a movie. Really, we're getting to the point now where you're going to go watch a movie and you're going to be like, you can't possibly judge this. You just saw this movie on your TV. You didn't see it in a theater. You have no idea, you poor plebe. This is where we are now. Goes on to talk about how some of these people are removing their videos because they're receiving negativity. And I would just say, folks, let's play it again. Let's play it again. Here we go. If you like this, you have at it.
As such, the blaster battles felt like they had meaningful stakes, and the stealth gameplay had a bit of weight to it because I knew that I'd be up against it. As such,
there you go, okay? And listen, if you're going to put out a review or if you're going to put out a preview and you're looking at this thing and you're saying, well, you know, it's got a 10-to-1 negativity ratio. You know what's coming your way. Good grief. There's no hiding it. But they tell you to ignore your lying eyes and ears. And it's the same exact way with other games. This is all happening. This is all DEI nonsense. The lead character in the Star Wars Outlaws is uglified on purpose. This situation with Assassin's Creed, same thing. They are simply trying to shove DEI into the gaming industry, and in spite of the fact that movies have managed somehow to start overcoming this nonsense, they're going for the gaming, and the gaming, I'm afraid, is not going to defend itself very well, and you could see a massive collapse. We're already seeing that, by the way, with Capcom. Capcom down something like 35–40% in total revenues. Horrible situation over there, and you're going to see it across the board if these companies collapse into DEI. DEI is not, by the way, an effort to value every single human being and treat them in a way that suggests that they are of infinite worth. Instead, it's a system to create quotas for people based on the way that they were born. It's a horrible, terrible, awful thing, coded in a pleasant name that's meant to trick you with the Trojan horse. PC Gamer here says, the Assassin's Creed subreddit mods are so over the Yasuke wasn't a real samurai arguments that they promise bans for anyone who brings it up again. We are all exhausted of this tedious discussion. Again, they want you to ignore your lying eyes, because what is really going on here with this forced DEI, where they've apologized to Japan now because this is ahistorical. Take a look. I'll show you. This is an article out of That Park Place, a truth-telling website. You should be bookmarked to this if you want the news in an accurate way. John Trent, the author. Assassin's Creed subreddit threatens to ban players for disputing Ubisoft's original claim that Yasuke is a powerful African samurai of historical legend. Now remember, Ubisoft has apologized. They've come out and said, no, this is not true. I'll show you right here. If we scroll down, here is the apology. It says, while we strive for authenticity in everything that we do, Assassin's Creed games are works of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. From its inception, the series has taken creative license and incorporated fantasy elements to craft engaging and immersive experiences. The representation of Yasuke in our game is an illustration of this. His unique and mysterious life made him an ideal candidate to tell an Assassin's Creed story with the setting of feudal Japan as a backdrop. And it goes on basically to say, we don't know enough anymore about this guy. We can't make a claim because, well, they got hoodwinked. They got tricked by a faux academic who had promulgated all this fake information. And it turns out this person is not actually a historical figure in the way that was originally suggested. Now, let's go back. I want to show you this again. Let's see how it's being presented to you. Because again, remember, gaslighting is apparently the way of the day. I've never seen everybody be so involved in the corporate media in this effort to I don't want to say lie. What I want to say, they are focused, hyper-focused on the message.
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what?
Here's how it was presented again. The Assassin's Creed subreddit mods are so over the Yasuke wasn't a real samurai arguments that they promise bans for anyone who brings it up again. We're all exhausted of this tedious discussion. As if this is too tiring. We just can't deal with it anymore. We don't want to hear the pros. We don't want to hear the cons. We're just tired of it, right? All right, so what's the real truth? Let's take a look. It says, despite Ubisoft backtracking and admitting that their original claim that Yasuke is a samurai is disputed, moderators on the Assassin's Creed subreddit are threatening to ban anyone who disputes the claim that he's a samurai. The moderators posted a thread on July 28th titled, "There is no debate. Yasuke was a samurai. If you disagree, you can do that somewhere else." In other words, they took the negative position, right? They took the ahistorical, anti-historical position and then said, if you disagree, if you dissent, well, you are going to be sent on your way elsewhere because being historical, being accurate is not acceptable here. It's all about power. It's all about power. It's my truth over the truth every single time. The thread itself reads, with the reveal of Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's been an influx of certain individuals spilling into various communities online, such as this subreddit, and raising arguments about historical accuracy. As we are all exhausted of this tedious discussion that has been endlessly talked to death, not to mention exacerbated by a recent official statement from Ubisoft. Yeah, Ubisoft, you idiots. We would like to give a final reminder to those participating in these debates as to what exactly this franchise entails and why there was never any point to these discussions to begin with outside of a thinly veiling bad faith intent. So if you want to be historical, you're in bad faith. And why? Because they must defend DEI at all costs. So what is the cost to the gaming industry? Well, here it is, folks. Going to NewZoocom, this is the big reveal. I want to show you what this is doing to gaming. This is dangerous to a $350 billion enterprise. That is the entire gaming industry. They will collapse it, just like they did to the movie industry. Hollywood, thankfully, is waking up. But if they are successful here, they will collapse the gaming industry in their efforts to promulgate propaganda into the minds of children. Here is the effect it's having. As we go through the list of the top games, I want you to think about, when was this game released? And you're going to notice something. Minecraft, of course, was released a very long time ago. Roblox, same thing. Fortnite, same thing. I think Fortnite came out in 2016, I think. Could have been earlier. Counter-Strike, very long-living franchise. Call of Duty, you've been playing Call of Duty a very long time, haven't you? League of Legends, it's been out since just behind Warcraft 3. How's that for a long-living game? Valorant, it's been out again, something like 2015, 2016. Grand Theft Auto 5, that's been out for a while. And the next Grand Theft Auto, no guaranteed success because it is turning out, apparently behind the scenes, to be a woke joke, a clown show indeed. X-Defiant, okay, well, maybe there's one. I don't know. Diablo, that one came out. Okay, so in the top 10, you could debate on newness and say maybe 2 of the top 10 are sort of new. And if you go down, it doesn't get any better. Rocket League, Overwatch, Destiny 2, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends. You get the idea. These are either very old games or they are old franchises. Very little is being made that is new and being accepted by players. And the problem there is, if you kill new IP by running it through DEI and ESG, then you will eventually cut off the root that springs forth, the flowers, the blossoms, the growth of the gaming industry. You will kill the ability of this industry to sustain itself because eventually old IPs simply cannot cut it. And that is why we must begin to push back against these changes to gaming and these moron gatekeepers who are destroying everything that goes on in gaming. Folks, if you would like to support our efforts to fight back against those who destroy gaming, take a look at That Game Place. We think you'll enjoy it. Just search That Game Place right here on YouTube and join. We did this with That Park Place. We did that with That Pod Place. Now we're doing it in gaming. And we intend to bring the news objectively, the truth, to you. www.thatparkplace.com as well. We'll be reporting on gaming all the time. Folks, we hope we've brought you the real evidence and the facts to you to show you that your eyes are not lying, your ears are not lying. Do not let them force feed you mistruths. Do not. The corporate narrative is not sparing you from having a bad time spending your money on games made by people who hate you. And that's just the truth. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, we surely do appreciate your time with us. Thank you for making this past June and July our biggest months here on the channel by far, continuing to grow by leaps and bounds. I think it's appropriate now to say that this is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels out there for entertainment news. Folks, it's all because of you, and we never ever forget it. You are appreciated. Yes, you. Just listening in helps us win again and again, and we can never say thank you enough. We hope you have a wonderful day. Get out there and change the world, even if just a little bit for the better, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Floral, it's time for you to walk the plank.
What? Why?
Because you haven't subscribed to WDW Pro yet. Nor bookmark thatparkplace.com on your web browser to get great articles from great contributors.
What?